Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, lovers, and friends, welcome back to the podcast, episode number 23. Michael Jordan's number, coming to you from Two Ticks and the Dog Productions above Dave Grohl Alley. And today, back from his podcasting tour, he did so well in the Derek Tolles episode, number 21, that we had to have Zach Byler from Byler Elite Strength Training back today. Zach, welcome back, man.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be there, and I'm really happy to be back. Super excited today.
Super excited, too. I'm super excited for our guests. You know, as the main sponsor, Zach's the main sponsor today. We want to put him in that position because he's agreed to come and lend some time to us today and help out. Brandon was not able to make it. He had some work to do with his company, MDI Studios. But Zach was able to... Did you get some training in this morning?
At my gym?
Yeah.
I did not because my wife is out of town, so I was on baby duty. Taking care of the child and dropping her off at daycare and doing that fun stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I love doing that stuff. It's great.
I told Renee one time, I said, she goes, well, I was going through a time where I was like, oh man, I just want to spend time with of course that's all I want to do anyways is spend time with my son. But when he was little, she goes, listen, if you want to take a year and you be like Mr. Mom and do the daddy thing and watch him every day, like I'm okay with that, which made me, I was like, God, I've married the right chick. I would never do that because I'm a kind of a workaholic or whatever, but yeah, I love doing daddy duty. Yeah, Zach's got a beautiful daughter, Zoe, who is 14 months.
Oh no, I think she turns 19 months this month.
Jesus.
19 months.
Because it goes that fast, man. It really does. Hold on to your seat. And you got another one on the way.
November 19th is the due date.
Ooh.
We're growing.
Yeah. We're growing Byler Elite Strength Training. We're just one shy of a basketball team. Tell the listeners real quick about Byler Elite Strength Training in Howland.
Byler Elite Strength Training is my gym. I've been owning and operating that since 2012. Started it right out of college. It's really the only thing I could see myself doing nowadays. I always have to remind myself of that too, because sometimes I'm like, this is tough. And I'm like, yeah, but I could be having to dress up in like a button down and sit like in a cubicle. So I really love what we do. And at Byler Elite Strength Training, our philosophy is efficiency. So basically we just want to make sure that we're moving people forward with the minimal effective dose. It's variability over rigidity. So we're making sure that people are moving really smooth. We're not trying to like Hulk people out.
It's not herk and jerk.
Right. Yeah. We're not trying to get people just pulling massive amounts of weight and you know, kind of filling the ego. We want to make sure that people are working in the ranges that they're able to do. And then but at the same time, we do want to, the other part of our philosophy is that we're trying to maximize power output and like aerobic output, but in a risk-free environment. So it really comes down to the exercise selections that we do. So each person is on a continuum. So they're going to be able to do, you know, one person might be able to do exercise A at the very beginning of their training life, and, you know, somebody that's been around for a while can do exercise Z, and it's the same type. It's just a different version of it, or like what I would call like a lateralization, if we want to have a big word for it.
We want to get nerdy about it. Yeah. Which is cool. I like to get nerdy about it. Mm-hmm. So what Zach is saying for the layman, and this is what I'm hearing, a guy like me who's 43, about to turn 44, can go in there and train and feel safe.
Yep. That
I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to pull a muscle. I'm not going to hurt joints, things of that nature. I asked you in the last podcast, I said, hey, is because I wanted to be clear, because a lot of times, like, everyone lived for a while, the fad was CrossFit. Man, let's go CrossFit, yeah. And like, and a lot of people were getting hurt from that. And so I'd asked you, are you a CrossFit gym? You said no, and you talked about modality and different modes and levels of. So I think that's real cool. I'm happy to have you here today for the purpose of our guests as well as for the purpose of ourselves. But before we get to that, I wanted to ask you, because you have one in front of you again. You took the second one I offered. I'm drinking one as well.
Does that mean something? Like, now I've taken 2, like I'm bought into it.
Well, I don't know. There's L-theanine in it, so you should be getting like focused. I was just curious. So Zach is drinking Axio. Axio is a decaf, well, could be caffeinated. I have a decaf energy drink. It's got, like I mentioned, L-theanine. It's got some green tea extract. There's other things in it, but we say it's an energy drink, but really it's a focus drink because you don't get like it's not like jacking yourself with sugar and taurine and high amounts of caffeine where you're like, oh, I'm ready to run through a wall, and then I crash an hour later. How'd you feel after you drank that one the other day?
Yeah, I think I felt just level. You know, it's not a central nervous system stimulant like what you're referring to, like with the caffeine and things like of that nature. So, you know, I think the biggest thing is it keeps you hydrated. It gives you a little bit of flavor, and whatever the science and the physiology of everything that's going on the inside, that's probably important. But I think it's just as equally important that people have the, you know, sometimes even if it's not working the way that it's supposed to, sometimes our good friend the placebo effect kind of takes in and just makes you get that focus.
That's true. Yep.
But what's important is that some people don't metabolize caffeine very well. So there's like slow metabolizers and there's fast metabolizers of caffeine, and depending on which one you are is going to kind of dictate whether or not caffeinated drinks are going to be good for you. So coffees like that, or something like, you know, this Axio stuff with the caffeine might not be good for somebody because they just get like revved up and start to get jittery and all that stuff. So we want the focus without all that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I drink and I still drink coffee. That's why I get the decaffeinated. And what did you say that was interesting to me about Axio? You're talking about sports drinks. I should have wrote a note. I was going to double back on it. Oh, I was going to tell you. They did a double blind test. You talk about the placebo effect. I love the placebo effect. People are like, oh my God, it's the placebo effect. It's in my mind. Like, that's okay. Like, give me the sugar pill as long as I feel like I feel better. Like, people recover from, we had a couple doctors on, and of course they agreed with this and kind of validated it. But when you have positive mental attitude, you heal better, you perform better, you're happier, you're just better, you know. So if you start dwelling on that negativity, you know, unfortunately bad things kind of follow you.
Yep.
They can follow you anyways, even if you're positive. Unfortunately, some things, you know, those things kind of happen. But anyways, they did a double blind test with Axio, and they were trying to see what the effects were on people who had ADHD, attention deficit disorder, and they were taking, what did people take for that? Ritalin, and what's the other thing?
Adderall.
So, and Adderall has some side effects or whatever. So they did a double blind, and they actually found, and they did brain scans with this too, brain mapping. A neurologist, I think from, I don't want to misquote because I'm not sure where it's from, but anyways, he did brain mapping before, during, and after. And the Axio actually had a better effect than did the Adderall. Now, this is just one subject, so everybody's body's different. I don't want everyone to think I'm saying, hey, get off your Adderall and go get Axio at biohacktomorrow.com and you're going to be able to get off the stuff. Everybody's body's different, just like Zach was saying. Everybody's body metabolizes caffeine differently. But if you are interested in some of the stuff we're talking about and you think Axio may be a cool thing for you, or other sports supplements, they're not even just sports, they're just life supplements, life enhancers. If you're interested in reducing oxidative stress, if your pet has oxidative stress, maybe your dog's 10 or 12 years old, they got hip dysplasia, they're not getting around like they used to, they have some products on there as well. Or you want healthier looking skin or healthier looking hair, check out biohacktomorrow.com, biohacktomorrow.com, and you can purchase or research first and then purchase if you want later, some of these amazing products, which maybe at some point we will talk with our good friend Jordan Taylor over at the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. Maybe we can get you guys a jug of Axio and see if we can, I don't know if you guys, if they do Gatorade over there, but we are about to find out because I'm super pumped today that our guests are from the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. For our prodders out there who are listening from out of state or out of area, The Mahoning Valley Scrappers are a minor league baseball team located here in Niles, Ohio. They've won the Penn League championship, I don't know, a couple years ago. They're always very competitive, and it's just a great entertaining time. Today on the show, we have two gentlemen from the Scrappers. One is a center fielder, Mr. George Valeria, and we have the manager, Mr. Dennis Malave, who is a former Cleveland Indians catcher and also has coached in minor league all over the place. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, James, for having us here today. Just an opportunity to share and just talk about life and baseball.
Awesome, man.
Thank you for having us, guys. I really appreciate having you guys having us here. Just trying to enjoy the moment right now.
Yeah, I dig it. And George and I were talking earlier. George is from the Bronx. Grew up in New York, so we were kind of talking. I have some family in New York. But then he told me that around age 12, you moved to...
So when I was 13, I moved to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, so a lot of great baseball players come out of there. They have great cuisine. And I said, I've only been to the DR once, and I said, you know what the DR has? They have really good beer. And he goes, I don't know, because I don't drink. Because,
I don't drink.
Yeah, he's an athlete. Yeah, it's good. The DR has El Presidente. So if you ever, don't do it now, though, because you're a young guy. You're 19?
No, 18.
Oh, you're 18?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, man. So tell us about how you got here. How did you get to the Scrappers? How did you get into baseball? Were you playing in the DR? Walk us through those steps a little bit.
Well, I've been playing baseball since I started walking. My dad's been practicing with me. I was born in Queens. I was raised in the Bronx. I was playing baseball in travel teams, little league teams. I moved out to Dominican Republic when I was 13 because of my dad's accident.
What happened to your dad? What happened to him?
My dad got hit by a truck. He was a cab driver for 20 years, and he has metal in his body. The cold is it messes up with his body, so we had to move out to somewhere where it's hot, back home, where they're from, and we just left at the age of 13 because he was getting older. My dad's 60, 62, 60. They always lie about their age. So... we moved out. I really didn't like it at the beginning just because I left all my friends back home, all my baseball teammates, a lot of my family members. But right now, I love it. It was probably one of the best things that's happened to me.
Was your dad a ball player?
He wasn't a professional ball player, but he played baseball when he was younger. So he had the dream that I have, and he's guiding me through it.
Was he a big influence on you? He introduced you to the game and that
Definitely.
Kind of stuff?
Yeah. Yes. He always calls me before games, after games to tell me, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Are you sleeping right? I'm still learning, and he's still teaching me.
That's awesome. You have a big family?
Yeah. I have an older brother and an older sister. My brother's 34, my sister's 36. My mom, she keeps lying about her age, too. She's been saying she's been 50 for the last couple of years. And my dad, and we're really close.
That's awesome. Are your brother and sister in the DR too, or are they here?
No, so my brother and sister, they still live in New York. My parents live in the Dominican Republic, though.
Wow. Do you go back and see them a lot?
Yeah, I try to do that as much as I can.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. You're a center fielder. Do you always play center field?
So when I was younger, I used to play first base. But when I was getting older, I started playing the outfield. I play center field, but I could play them all. Wherever they need me, I'm there.
I like it. Utility man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you, you're 18. Do you know the song Center Field by John Fogerty?
I think you might just have to give me a song, sing it. I don't know. I've never
Totally put me on the spot. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Yeah.
Today, they play it at the ballpark, I think.
I've heard it before.
I want you, listen, George, I want you when you're on the field and you're playing and they start playing that song, I want you to remember this moment and they are singing that for you. Let that lift you up and empower you, man.
I think I might just have to do that.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
That's pretty cool.
Dennis, you've been around baseball for 20 years, roughly, yeah?
Yeah, 21 years.
Yeah, 21 years. You're 41. I hope I'm not giving any secrets away. We're talking about the aging process here earlier.
No, it's all good. I won't lie about it. I'm 41 years old. But the first time I was here in this town, it was 21 years ago. And it has been a great experience since I got to be here in Mahoning Valley Scrappers. First game I was ever playing in this town, Dr. Farrow Field back then.
Yeah, right.
So thank you for having me and this opportunity to share again.
It's so awesome. Where are you from?
From Venezuela.
Okay.
Grew up in Venezuela, Caracas. Played there. I was signed as a free agent by the Cleveland Indians. Came over to United States, and now I'm a grown man, 3 kids, wife, and I live year round in Arizona.
Oh, you just travel here for baseball?
Yes.
And then you go back. Are your wife and kids in Arizona now?
They're in Arizona. They were just here for the summer. They spent here a month.
Oh, that's good.
With me and the guys on the clubhouse. I have 2 boys, so the 2 boys were around the field, and they had a great opportunity to see what it's like, baseball, what baseball's like, what baseball players go through.
How old are they? How old are your boys?
My one older one he's 12.
Okay.
The other one is 4.
So they play? I mean, 4 maybe not yet, but is the 12-year-old play?
Yeah, the 12.
Oh, George is over here shaking his head. Is he a prodigy?
They're both
What?
really good. Yeah.
They both play. Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's what you do in baseball. That you just as soon as you can walk, you can start playing baseball.
Yeah.
Even before you walk, you start throwing balls. And people who really are passionate about the baseball game, they just find ways to make it to throw a ball, swing a bat, or just watch games. And that's what we do, and that's how sometimes passion gets related to the kids.
So listen, when this episode goes live, I want to see some hits. I want to hear some listeners. Because we can see where everyone. There better be some listeners from Venezuela and Arizona, and from the Bronx and from DR. Okay, I'm leaving it up to you guys. There's a lot of pressure. Dennis, you've seen a lot of ball players over the years. How good's this young man next to you? He's the number 6 prospect for the Tribe. I don't want to misquote here. I'm asking here. He doesn't know. He's shaking his head.
It's okay. Prospect is a word that we all used to in the game, but he's a hard worker. He's a player that had the opportunity when he first came into the organization. He was good. He had the talent, but through the years, I missed a year without seeing him, without watching him play. And this year, I was very surprised how much better he's got.
This guy here?
Yes, absolutely.
You were aware of him. He's only 18, so you were aware of him for a couple of years beforehand.
Yes, absolutely, and that's what baseball is all about: getting better, working to get better every single day, and that's what he has done since he got here.
The hard workers are always the guys that seem to progress. You don't hear about players who are, if they're just naturally talented and they're just relying, this is in all sports or just all things in general, right? People go like, you know, even in production, they're my profession, they'll go, oh, you're really, I try to lay it off. They go, oh, you're really talented. I don't know what that means. I only know that I come to work every day. I work hard every day. I try to outwork guys that are younger than me. I try to outwork guys that are older than me, and it's a competitive thing, I guess. But talent is only going to get you so far, right? Talent's like, it might be the entry, like the card to get into the game, or the card to get into the ticket to get in. But you ain't staying there if you ain't working hard, right? I mean,
absolutely. Talent can take you so far, but it can also keep you from getting to places that you should get to.
How so? What do you mean?
And what I mean by that, you can only get to guys that are very talented. They can get to big leagues, but if you're talented and you work and you learn and you get better every single day, then you might be staying in the big leagues for 10, 12 years. And that's the difference where you see guys that are talented and they work and they get better. They listen to the information that is given to them, and they have a good filter. That's what happened to those guys, and that's what we see on the TV, where guys are playing in big leagues and having success day in and day out. We know how hard it is to have success in the baseball game.
Yeah, you guys have to work really, really hard. Georgia, you've been working real hard. It's awesome. I can see like the organization. Now I only know the organization from like the I don't know if they call it the administration part of it, like some of the guys in sales, and we've done some of the advertising for the Scrappers over the years and whatnot, really since the beginning. So I met Jordan Taylor when he was, I don't know, we were probably both in our 20s, and he was just working for the organization at the time. And as it's grown, it's great, but I don't ever really get to interact with the players. So it's really cool to see a player and coach And I'm like excited for you because you've got a guy who can like really mentor you and gets it. Like as soon as I met Dennis, I could already tell like this guy gets it. He ain't here for the flash. He's here because he loves it, and he obviously loves his players. He wants to help you get better because that's a reflection of him too, right?
Absolutely, yes. As long as you know the reason why you're here for it, and you know that the reason is know yourself, players get to sense that. And that's what the organization do. That's what the Cleveland Indians have done for so many years, hiding quality people, hiding players that are play the game, looking for people that are going to be able to impact other people's on the field and off the field too.
So, and you just guys had a player just get called up to your pitcher.
Yes, Ethan Hankins.
Ethan Hankins get called. And now how does that progress work? Because I'm not like, super inside baseball. You guys are Double A?
This is a single A, short season.
Okay, single A. And then did he get called up to Double A or to?
There are 3 single A teams.
Okay.
So Mahoning Valley Scrappers, Lake County Captains, and High A. So he just went to the Lake County.
Okay.
Which is 45 minutes away from here.
Okay. Because I was like, I heard that. I go, wow, this is amazing. Because we had Lindor down here, we had Sabathia down here. So there's a long tradition of guys.
Jose Ramirez was here too.
Yes, thank you. Yep.
John McDowell was here, who's a coach, who's a coordinator now. There's so many players that go through here, and by the time they play here, you don't think they're going to become a big leader, but it is a process for them to continue to get better. That's why we have all this system. That's why we have all these levels for them to continue to work on their skills.
And you got called up. You were a catcher with the Cleveland Indians.
As a catcher, I never played catcher. I was a left-handed thrower, outfielder, never played catcher. So there was an opportunity to contribute to the team. And they were needing somebody who could throw BP left-handed, who could help in the bullpen. So they asked me if I would catch. So they gave me a left-handed catcher's mitt, and I learned how to catch and did it. And I did exactly what the players do. They find a way to help the team. And I was given an opportunity, a very good opportunity to be part of the big league team in 2007 and 2008 seasons.
That's amazing, man. Was it like dream come true? What was the first, when you walk on that field? We had another guy, Derek Tolles, on a couple episodes ago, and he's from here. He played high school ball. He went to Penn State. He had a life-changing, not even he got an injury, but it was caused by an enzyme disorder. Anyways, long story short, he makes it to the NFL, and he's on the field. He's playing for the Colts, and he looks across. He's got Tom Brady on one side. He's got Peyton Manning on the other, and he just was like, he was telling us about the moment. When you went on that field, what was that moment like?
It was still a great opportunity just to talk about it, a great memory, just to be able to watch what Major League Baseball is like from inside. What players go through, what coaches go through, the preparation, the amount of detail to attention to detail. That was exciting for me. That was a moment that I said, yes, I want to go back to the minor leagues and become a coach and become a better coach. And having the opportunities to win in the major leagues, and also to go through some difficult days in 2008 season and learn from that season too. So that's why I enjoy every part of the minor league process and be there for the players and be there when they have success, and most important, be there when they have some difficult times, which are probably the most beneficial time for them to become a winning big league player.
To overcome the challenges, right? You learn more from your mistakes. Young George, you're going to learn more from your mistakes.
Yeah, because I don't think failure is failure. I think failure is just learning.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. You're still a young guy. Have you had any failures, any challenges that you've had to overcome recently?
Recently, of course. So just having a roller coaster season, our team having a good start at the beginning. We're struggling a little, but we'll get back to it. Just, staying positive, growing, recognizing that, you're going to have to have good times, but you're going to have to also dwell with the bad ones. And just keeping your head up and being in love with the game. That's going to push you towards, being okay to fail.
The Scrappers are on an 8-game slide right now. They're about to come out of it. I feel it. I can tell. Now, listen, listeners out there, you can't look at either one of these guys. You can't see. George is a young 18. He's got the hair. He's got like I have longer hair too. I can kind of like see his hair. He's got like a little bit of like frosted, like curly. Like he's a very good looking dude. So I have to ask you this question. Do you have a girlfriend?
I don't.
Okay, so now here's the next part of that question. You know, there was a movie years ago called Bull Durham. It was with Susan Sarandon and Kevin Costner, and Tim. I'm sorry, I forget your name. Tim, the actor that was in Shawshank Redemption. That's terrible. I'm a filmmaker. I already know I'm gonna get yelled at by my friends. And she was like a baseball groupie, for lack of better terms. Yeah. Now, you're a good-looking dude. Do you have these girls, like, waiting for you? They're, like, hanging out. How do you resist that temptation? How do you stay focused, man? You're a young guy.
No temptations at all. Just staying focused, you know, playing my game, going back home, going to sleep, you know, because this isn't my goal, not just staying here. You know, learning how to win, like Dennis said, learning how to get better, grow, and probably make it to the big leagues. Then I could worry about, maybe.
Nice, man. Laser focused. Good job, Coach.
That's something that you gotta live. Yeah, there's time for everything. Time for get better, for life, wife, kids, girlfriend. So as long as they enjoy that part of the process where there's time for life and keeping everything in perspective. That's what this is something we talk about, and we know that it's important as anything else. Playing the game is important. Having a personal, private life is also important too.
The trappings of being a professional athlete or in any type of, either, musicians or, actors or athletes or, we kind of revere these. And so those are part of like the trappings of like, I'll use that term, the trappings of fame, right? Oh, we're going to go party with our buddies after the game, or we're going to go, but that's only going to deter you from your success, right? Have you seen any of that, Dennis, where guys were like, they got caught up in like the girls and the party and the lifestyle?
Absolutely. There's people that are making good choices and bad choices too, and some people that are making good choices soon enough after they make poor choices. And that's where you see changes, and that's where you see perspective, and you see success for these players, and not only for as a player, as a human beings. They become good citizens, and they become family members and leaders that they're supposed to be. So that's, but you can see those temptations as an opportunity to become who you are, and as an opportunity to reaffirm what are you here for? What is the purpose for you to be here? What is it that you're gonna get out of this stage? And that's where it depends how you see it. It depends how you want to take it. So that's something that we also talk about it. We share about it. You can look at it in a positive way. You can look at it in a negative way. How soon can you learn from it?
I like that you're because what you're speaking on right now is like the culture of the organization and your personal philosophies and ideologies. And I think that is like what you're saying. It makes me proud. I'm obviously a Scrappers fan, right? We used to go to the games before my son was born, and I was single and had more time. We'd go to the games a lot, and I still make it to some games, obviously. But I was always proud, like, oh man, we got this minor league baseball team, and organization seems very cool. But now I'm even more proud to hear the things that you're saying, because you're establishing a culture that is beyond. You're not here talking about just being like a good baseball player. You're talking about being a good human being and a good citizen. Man, that's what we need more of in the world. The world would be such a better place, if that's what was our main focus and main purpose.
Dennis, my question is on that topic of culture. How often do you spend talking to the guys on the team about culture and those types of expectations versus like the X's and O's of the game?
Actually, we don't talk about it too much. We just leave it. We model it. I heard you talking about positive placebo effect. This is something that we do, that we walk, that we enjoy doing it. And then there's time where we just go back and just have conversations. We don't teach them. We just show them how to do it. And that's something we're done for years as an organization. So that's been part of our culture for years. I would say for 2 decades at least. 21 years that I've been part of the Cleveland Indians organization.
You're leading by example.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we look for.
In any type of athletics, we talked about this a little bit beforehand, like how much work it takes and how much recovery it takes, especially as we get older. Young guy, 18, recovers easy, gets to 28, maybe doesn't recover as easy, gets to 38, forget about it, right? It's a whole different thing. Are there things that you do on the regular, George, where you are, whether it's diet or whether it's exercise, there's something like specific that you have seen benefit that maybe can help some of these younger players in benefiting their strength and conditioning as they move on?
Well, I believe there really isn't a handbook to it. Just understanding that little things matter, and that's one of the biggest things I've learned this year. Like, just being able to hydrate, because if you don't hydrate, you might be tired or you're gonna pull a muscle. Being able to go to the gym 3 times or 4 times a week because you need to stay strong for a long season. Being able to sleep on time because you need that rest to wake up for the game and try to beat the other team. Things like that, little things, like I said, I've learned this year, and I've appreciated the moments that because some of the things that I've learned this year, I have to do with Dennis. I wasn't like last year when I was younger. I'm still young, but I didn't really understand that, and I wish I could have learned it earlier. But now that I'm learning it, I really am thankful for it.
I heard you mention sleep a couple times. How many hours of sleep you get a night? Sleep habits are so important.
So we play away sometimes. Sometimes we have to sleep on the bus, but most maybe 10 hours. I got to sleep 10
hours.
10 hours.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah. If not, I won't perform the same.
Is that something that Dennis, is that something that you talk about with your players, the rest and recuperation process?
Yes, absolutely. This is something that we understand that it has a lot to do with what they do on the field, the way they respond to the game, the way they react to plays, how they make decisions on the field and off the field too. So, and not only recuperating physically, you got to be able to recuperate mentally too, and that's also being able to separate one moment to the next. Every 20 seconds, there's a pitch being thrown in the major leagues. There's a pitch being thrown, so you got to be able to separate one moment to the other in order to keep yourself fresh mentally, to be able to bounce back from moments, to be able to bounce back from one game to the other, and that's the stuff we talk about.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the stuff that he just talked about, like good players do, but just being consistent and doing those little things make you a great player, and that's what we all want to become.
Well, it's interesting because you always think about the physical aspect of it, and of course there's a mental aspect to it as well. Are there things that either one of you guys do, or the things, Dennis, that you're teaching George, or George that you do, where you are able to recuperate mentally from the game? Like, and what's that process? Like, what's an example? Like, is it like, oh, I struck out at the plate, you don't dwell on that, or is it beyond something that's, is it something that's more long term?
Well, you got to have a short-term memory, and then when you look at, let's say for example, striking out, you're gonna look at an opportunity to understand yourself. Number one, understand what the pitchers do and what the catcher is doing. So you're gonna have a better play. Next time you're up to the plate, you're gonna be much better informed, and you should be closer to having success. If you look at failure that way, that's going to be a way for you to recuperate sooner. But now if you're looking as a strikeout, and you feel sorry for yourself, and you feel like it is the end of the world, and now that's probably going to keep you from bouncing back mentally and emotionally too.
Do you, George, and you mentioned your dad, that accident sounded like it was a pretty bad accident. Did he recover pretty well?
Yeah, he did. He's one of my motivations also, because the doctor told him that he wasn't going to be able to walk again, and he's running. So I'm really happy about that. He was in a wheelchair for like a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so then he just started, doing his own therapy with my older brother. He's one of my big motivations too. So that's why I keep going. Like I know that if you have a plan A, you it's not really working, you gotta have a plan B, but your plan B has to be the one that's making your plan A work, you know? Not having a plan A, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then have a plan B, and then, oh, if that doesn't work, I'm gonna just do something different. No, how about you do something to help you get to that plan A, you know?
So your plan B is like, oh, my plan A didn't work, but my plan B is helping me get back to plan A to make that successful.
Yes.
I like that. Because my plan A was to be a movie director and to do these different things and whatever. And I can tell you're a very family-oriented young guy. I'm family-oriented. So a lot of times people are like, what? You know, how come you're not in LA or you're not in New York or whatever? Because my family's here. I love my family. And you know, my plan B, this is kind of my plan B, right? Making commercials and advertising and video and stuff are kind of like mini movies, and we get to work on movies once in a while too. So my plan B helped my plan A. That's pretty interesting that you said that.
Just being consistent with it might, you know, who knows, you might be in LA next time.
That's true. Or I might have a singing career since you helped me sing Center Field.
And sometimes, like people say, plan B is just a way to escape the reality. And as you can tell, George, he's just gonna face reality. He's gonna
he's really mature. You can tell.
That's what you want to see in athletes. That's what you want to have guys playing for you and playing for an organization like the Cleveland Indians. That's why we do such of a work looking for players, but not only looking for talent, looking for human beings that are gonna be able to face those difficult moments in life. Just kind of like we're having right now. So let's say for the little kids that are playing the baseball game, we just had a 3-day clinic on the field. We're sharing with those kids that, hey, if you can only get better 1% every single day, and we had 3-day camp. So those kids were 3% better at the end of it. What about they just keep working on it every single day? So by the time a year goes by, how much better are they going to be?
That's a great way to look at it. Incremental change. Change that lasts is typically incremental change. It's not something that happened. We made a big change. A lot of times those things don't hang loose. You know, they don't set in. Both you guys from different places, New York, from Venezuela, but you know you're in Arizona. What's the difference in culture? Like you came from the Bronx and from Queens and from the Dominican Republic, and like obviously besides the weather. Right, which is why your dad, went back because of the cold. I'm assuming from the cold weather, right? Or I think you said that. What's the culture like? What do you like? People here cool? You know, they follow baseball as much? Talk about it. Tell me. I want to, because I'm curious, like from your perspective.
Well, Venezuela, baseball is pretty much everything we have. There are some other sports. There's not very many NBA players from Venezuela. There's not very many soccer players from Venezuela. So baseball is all we do. It's pretty much everything we have. That's the way for most people to survive and become somebody in life. So when you go to a baseball game in Venezuela, it could be a little league. There's people screaming, clapping, singing, playing drums, and then you get that sense of passion for the game and that you want to be on the field every single day and you want to come back to the field no matter what happens on that day because you want to enjoy that part of the process of playing baseball game and you want to feel that pressure and that passion from not only from your teammates, from the fans.
Yeah. Just like he said, that's how it is in Dominican. It's like in a whole bunch of fans, like a football game. Just everyone's united. Everybody from different teams are together. Now nobody's different, and it's a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling, and it's so much fun.
How much energy you guys get from the fans? Like, is there a charge? Or, I mean, obviously, but percentage-wise, like, man, when the fans are really active, do you feel like you perform better? Do you feel like you make a throw better? You're more juiced up to kind of make a great play.
I try to give it my all every day, but when I see fans and I hear them, it makes me like want to do more, want to win for them, want to make them have fun because I love this game and so do the fans, and we do this for the fans also.
So listen, Scrappers fans out there, if you're going to the Eastwood Field, I'm one of them. I'm actually going to be at the game Thursday with another client. We have some stuff that we do out in front. They're Johnny Case Power Sports, and they're signing up guys to win different vehicles and stuff. If one of the players hits for the cycle, single, double, triple, and a home run. So, George, on behalf of Johnny Case Power Sports, I hope it's you, okay? And someone can maybe win one of these vehicles. But listen, Scrappers fans out there, if you're in the greater Warren Youngstown area and you're going to these games, let's liven it up a little bit, okay? I mean, sometimes I go to the games and it's live. When I used to go a lot, I was one of the guys making a lot of the noise. I'd sit behind the dugout, and I'd yell a lot. And maybe we were drinking some beers. I don't know. Could have been, okay, especially on Buck night. But let's get out there and get a little lively, okay? Because it sounds like to me like Venezuela or the DR is a more fun place to watch baseball. Let's go, Ohio.
Yeah, and I want to appreciate the opportunity just to tell them thank you for all these 21 seasons that they've been coming to the field. Remember the very first night, how many people were there, and how much energized were we as players, coaches, and I want to thank the people that have been coming this year, and if you can bring somebody else to the field, not only to watch us play, just to enjoy a family fun entertainment.
Yeah, the atmosphere. So you were one of the first. You were on the first team.
Yes, absolutely. Victor Martinez, Cici Sabatia, and so many other players that were there.
Wow.
On the first day.
Yeah, you're like a legacy player. What's it like to have played and now you're coming back and coaching? Now you're a bench coach for Akron last year.
Yes,
and now you're the manager. What's the difference between those two things?
The purpose is exactly the same. That's how we see it. It is an opportunity to help, to serve the players. That's what all the coaching staff are here for. Responsibility is a little greater because now you have to respond to the organizations and give them information yourself. As a bench coach, you give them that information to the manager. Managers communicating on the daily basis to the organizations, and that's how decisions are made, and that's how we continue to make players become better in order to win in the Major League Baseball.
George, when you step on the field, do you have any like certain rituals that you do? You know, do you have any certain things that you do to get your mindset for that game?
Well, before the games, like I said, I talk to my parents, talk to my brother and my sister. When I'm in the field, before I even step on the field, I start praying, and that's pretty much it. Then I'm out there just having fun, see what happens.
I'm not gonna say if, because I want to be. It's all positive movement forward. When you make it to the big leagues, right? Hopefully it's for the Indians and you're on that thing and you're there. What are you doing? Are you bringing your family over? Are they coming to see the game? Like, what's the process? How do you envision that? Like, because people, professional athletes always talking about visualization. Yeah. What's that scene look like for you?
A lot of my family members at the game, just trying to do what I usually do, have fun. They're gonna cheer me on regardless if I strike out or if I don't. I'm just trying to win the game, but for now I'm just thinking about today's game.
Yeah, cool. You have a game today?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, 7:05.
Oh, geez. Okay.
You should go.
Yeah, I like it. Good plug. Unfortunately, I actually might be able to make it today. I will be there tomorrow, though. 100%.
I hope so.
Yeah, you got to take Zach, too, with you.
I've got a Bible study tonight at the house.
Oh.
Okay, well.
You guys are invited.
Afterwards, after the game, go to Bible study.
Yeah.
But Thursday night's game, okay? I didn't realize Bible studies, we talked about this after the last show. Wednesdays are Bible studies. Yeah, I actually went, I talked about that. We're referring to some conversations we had with Derek Tolles a couple episodes ago. And he had mentioned that Bible studies are on Wednesday nights. I did not know that. And I actually asked some of my friends, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could be on any day. He was talking about particular culture.
Right.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff happens too in professional baseball. There's a group of people called Baseball Chapel. They come to every affiliate, whether it's minor league baseball, big league baseball, and they share faith with players. It can be 10, 15 minutes most likely Sundays.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Now, so when you're in minor league baseball, your home is in the Dominican.
Yes.
Do you stay with do they put you up? Are you staying with a family? Like, how does that work?
I stay with my parents because my parents live in the Dominican Republic, so I stay with them.
But I mean, when I'm here.
When I'm here?
Yeah.
I stay in a host family. Yeah, they're really nice. The team got them for me, and no problem so far. They're super nice. They take care of me. They go watch the games. Whatever I need, I gotta ask, but they're really good people.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just tell you about host families.
Yeah, I'm curious about it. Yeah.
This is something really special that these hometowns has done for not only for baseball, for the Scrapper, for families. The very first time, when was it, 1999 that we were here, we're walking, a group of 5 Latin players were starting to walk to the apartment complex that we were going to live in. And out of nowhere, some family, some lady came up and she asked us where we were going to go. We had suitcases. At the time, we had Uber. So there were not much taxis around here. So she asked us where we're going to go. And in our broken English, we tried to communicate to her. And she said, no way. You guys just wait for me here. And then she found 3 other families. And then she chose me, and I chose Victor Martinez. And that family became my American mom. And now she knows my mom. And my mom had one of their sons staying in Caracas, Venezuela, because he wanted to learn Spanish. And now Victor Martinez family is also their family. So we all became a one family, all 3 of us. And our children call them grandma and grandpa. And 21 years later now, I'm back to bringing my family, my kids, and having a good family time with the host family. So this is how important it is that what they do, the impact that they have made, not only in baseball players, human beings, and families. So I want to say thank you to the host families that have done it all these years. There's a family that have done it for 21 years, and I'm very grateful and thankful that they're doing that. Still doing it for the
Can we
players.
say their name? Can we give them them some love?
Patty and Bob Bixler.
That's awesome. Hey, Patty and Bob, good job, man. That's awesome. I'm getting kind of misty-eyed listening to you because I can tell, like, you really love these people, and, like, what a cool thing. Like, to be able to, like I said, man, if we put more love in the world, more into all cultures, what a better place the world would be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Absolutely.
That's great. The Bixlers. Are they from Howland? Is that
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes. I know the name. Mm-hmm. I know the name. George, where's your host family? Where you stay at?
My host family are in Canfield.
Okay. Yeah, Canfield. Yeah.
Dana and Greg Cooper.
That's awesome.
More like my parents.
That's awesome. They're looking out for you. Now they have kids of their own?
Yeah, they do. But I think they're loving us more.
I feel the same way too, so that's coming.
That's awesome. How about some of your favorite players? Like who do you obviously you're still a young guy, but like when you first realized I want to be a professional baseball player, this is something I want to do for my life, who was your guy? Who'd you look up to?
Well, when I was growing up, like I said, my dad showed me how to play baseball. I really never had anybody that I could look up to. But I think my favorite baseball player would be me in 10 years.
Whoa, that's deep. I like that, man.
Yeah.
Just more this interview goes on, man. I keep liking this dude more and more. Me in 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
People would say, like, hey, I used to get this question. Be like, oh, and I have a lot of favorite filmmakers and stuff, and they go, whose career would you want? Whose life would you want? I don't want anybody's life. I want my own career. Definitely. I just want me in, like you said, me in 10 years, me in 20 years.
I'm not saying it in a cocky way. Just
no.
In a way where, like, me in 10 years, I catch up to those 10 years, then I'm going to be, my favorite player is still going to be me in 10 years. I just want to be chasing something. I want to be a better me. And I don't think I'll be able to catch up just because I want more and more and more, you know?
Yeah. You'll when you get to whatever that point is that you think is the point that you want to get to,
Yeah.
then you'll go, it won't, and it's not that it's not enough. It's not that you're greedy but you get to that point, and that you seem like that kind of person where you're going to get to that point, and that point is going to have moved further down the line.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell people, if you get content with the contents of your life, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, forget about it. You always want to continue to progress. You always want to continue to make yourself better. We never really quite get there. You know, I always thought, if I could do this, I'll have known I made it. Oh, okay. And then I did that. And I was like, okay, if I could do this, if I could do that. Always get better, always progress, never be content. Because if you do, I think it's like, it's kind of over. You appreciate the journey.
Definitely.
It's the journey, not the destination, that counts.
Yes, absolutely. And if you can think how good is good enough, you can always have an opportunity to reflect and watch yourself. What are the things that you're doing? What are your values, your beliefs, and can you become a better person every day? Can you become a better player? Can you become a better leader every day? And that's what he's talking about. Yeah, he himself in 10 years, because he knows what good looks like. He knows what great looks like. But he has a vision for himself that he's pursuing, that he's going after. And that's what, when you see something like that, you want kids at such a young age to know what good looks like and to have a good identity of themselves and say, I can do this. I can become that person. Yes, with work, time, effort, dedication. And that's why it's so good that he has that perspective and he has that vision of himself.
Man, this team has got a great mentor in you. I think that I had a mentor coming up through my profession. My good friend, he's a great friend of mine, Jay Ognebane, and he would always say, he was in sales at Time Warner, and he kind of got me into this business a little bit. He mentored me, and he would always say, it's not the short term. It's not like, it's the long term. And it's you. He says, I can walk into any business that I've ever done business with. I don't have to duck anybody. I can always hold my head high because I always gave them 100%. And that's what you need to do if you want to make it long in this business. You're mentoring these young guys, these young players through your experience. Man, that's awesome. I'm excited for you because you got this guy, and I'm sure other people in the organization as well, who are really like helping you succeed. Like, I'll give you some words of wisdom here, right? Which I can already tell you're already there. Like, just keep your ears open and your eyes open and absorb it like a sponge, because you got some great guys that are helping you progress in your game, man. That's fantastic. I love that you said your dad. Like, I love that you're very family oriented. That's very rare, I think, in today's society. We talk about, Zach and I were talking about it earlier, about just, like a culture that's like more narcissistic. It's the me culture and it's the now culture. And like, man, that's not going to help all of us. I don't want to keep like preaching this altruistic idea, but like, that's the way the world gets better. And baseball can be a component of that. Okay. Life can be a component of that. All these different things make up that 1% to make life better. I'm like, I don't really know you. I know this will sound like weird, but like, I'm really proud of you, man. I'm proud that you said that.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
Thank you. And earlier we were talking about culture. What brings us here? What brings us together? Is the passion to win and to win it all. What can we do to win it all in the big leagues? We haven't done it. We got really close, but that's why we're going through what we're going through. That's why we're learning what we're learning now at such a young age, having these players go through some good days and some difficult days as a unit together, because that's what the game is. And when you have that perspective and you play the game as a unit, you do it right, you do it together, that's when these guys are going to be better prepared to help us win in the big leagues. As an organization, we care about winning. We're winners, and winners, they know how to deal with failure. They know how to deal with some difficult days. I don't know if there's some coaches. We're talking about family and George's family. I had the privilege to meet his family. I had the privilege to watch him jumping just a few weeks ago when we were in Brooklyn in New York. watching them, be there for them. That's something we do as a family because we see our players not only as performers, we see them as a human beings, and that's where that's how we're able to go through some difficult days because we go through it as a family. We go through as a team, we pick each other up, and that's something that we do it, and it's something that we truly care about and care for.
Yeah, you never really think about baseball as being like this, from an outsider. I've never really, you're kind of like, oh, yeah, they play baseball and stuff. But like, this is really enlightening to me that the organization and particularly you two guys really push that idea or not push it, but promote that idea that, because what you're talking about is like a brotherhood, like a fellowship, all these guys together. And, it's like anything else because you're kind of, I want to say, like, if you equate it, like you're going into battle together, you're going to play this other team. Of course, you're all going to shake hands at the end. And at the end of the day, it's a game. And it's not life or death.
I just think it's more than a baseball game. I think it has a lot to do with, what you said earlier, us not being just baseball players, us being humans and just being good people and making the world a better place. That's one of my end goals and something that Dennis preaches and the Indians preach, just being out there and being a good person, like walking an old lady or, handing out food to someone that really needs it, stuff like that. And I think that's super, super important.
That is super important. I'm glad you said that. Not that I was worried because I knew Jordan wasn't going to hook me up with, but you came in right away. There was no like flash. There was no, you're a humble guy. And I think you're going to go very, very far, man. I sincerely, I really believe that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. How about, Dennis, players you maybe modeled yourself after when you were coming up? I know it's a long time ago. I don't know if you remember or not.
Yeah, I can always remember. I know most people probably our age would remember Ricky Henderson.
Bro, I swear to God, as soon as I asked you that, I thought maybe, and as soon as you started talking, I thought, that's my favorite player, man.
Yeah.
Ricky was oh my God, he's the best, man. He's the best.
Yeah, he's a great player. He played the game the right way. He gave effort on the field. He was consistent doing it. He hit homers, doubles, triple home runs. So that was a player that I look up to and wanted to be like. Unfortunately, I fall short, but I just keep working and keep helping other people and other players to become better than Ricky.
Yeah. You have that purpose, right? You're taking that experience and you're using that purpose to make these guys better, man. There's nothing. Somebody told me one time, I was actually my mentor, the guy I was telling you about, and I was teaching at the time. And I was teaching part-time. I was teaching film studies to high school kids, and it was a program like I kind of developed or whatever. And I said, man, he says, well, how's the teaching going? And I said, I don't know. It's cool. I like the kids. I like to work with kids, and I was younger at the time. I said, but, this isn't what I went to school for. This isn't what my passion is and whatnot. And there's a movie called Mr. Holland's Opus. And Mr. Holland was, a musician, but he ended up being like a better music teacher than he was a musician. And he changed people's lives through that. And man, there is nobility and honor in that. What a great, great thing. I'm glad you're passing that on to these young guys.
Yeah, I've got like a healthy amount of like jealousy building in me, like listening to you guys talk. Like, it's great to hear, like how you're building the organization one human being at a time, not one baseball player at a time. And I really love that. And it's just, there's a lot of positivism there rather than like, I think baseball has a reputation for being negative. I sent you guys that quote from Tom House, baseball is a game of failure coached by negative people in a world of misinformation. And it just doesn't seem like what's going on at the Scrappers organization, the Indians organization, jives with that at all. So, I mean, and then you guys are talking about your cultures in Venezuela, the baseball culture in Venezuela, the baseball culture in the DR, and how it's so family-oriented and fun. And you said a comment, Dennis, about you said, I was just like all the other players. What can I do to help the team? And like, even that's like a positive statement. So my question is, what can I do as a second-year baseball coach, a guy that just wants to be like create a culture like you guys are doing? What can I do to kind of rectify what I know? I really see a negative culture of baseball. A lot of yelling coaches, a lot of kids, me. There's parent stuff. There's all sorts of negativity. There's when I got hired as the head coach at the school that I'm at, people were like, "Oh, good luck, man." And I was like, "No, I want to change this. I want to really bring something valuable. What can I do?" Or I don't know if there's a handbook, like you said, George, but like, what can I consider? What can we consider as a culture of baseball around here?
Well, number one, the players, they got to know that you truly care for them. Number one. Number two, they just got to make somehow a family environment where you're not only helping them win a game. You can win a game and play poorly. You want them to play better than themselves. Number one, can you be better than yourself? Can we better than the other team at every position? Can we sleep better? Can we hydrate better? Can we practice better? Can we focus better? Can we have fun better? Because you got to have fun while playing the game. Can we get distracted better and bounce back sooner than the other team? Because the other team is also going to get distracted. So would you make an effort to reach out to their families and make the families feel welcome? Can you have a conversation with them and let them know that you truly care for their family and for their son on the team? Can they see that? Now they're going to have conversations at home. They say, okay, this coach truly cares for you. And decisions that you make as a coach is not going to be based on their performance. It's going to be based on the team, what's going to be most beneficial for the team. And once they feel that way, they say, okay, well, I'm not playing today. That's going to be the best choice for the team. You're getting a day off today. These guys get days off. They don't want to take them. But it's the best team for the team now and 5 years from now, because they got to get back. They got to feel fresh. So
yeah. And you see guys like, superstars like Cal Ripken. No, he didn't take days off. And everybody wants to be like that. Like, I don't want a day off. I'm going to push through. I'm going to throw this 135th pitch, so I can get the finish the sixth inning or something like that. Like, you kind of see this little bit of overzealous.
Yeah, and that's where the little things comes up. Are you hydrated better than the other guys in order to play longer, in order to stay longer on the field, in order to respond in a positive way to what the team needs? Are you resting enough? Are you sleeping the amount of hours that you need to sleep? Are you sleeping better, which is not only laying on bed? Are you keeping distractions away now that kids have cell phone and social media? And yeah, you can be laying out on bed, but you might be mentally distracted even though you're laying down. So all the little things that you got to pay attention to, and you got to be able to be accountable in order to become a better player as you becoming a better teammate to benefit the team.
So what I'm hearing is, for me to be a better coach, I need to make a much more concerted effort to not only be involved in the X's and O's of how to build the skills of baseball, but also, like what you're saying, the little things of sleep, hydration, health, and then the biggest thing that I took away is their family. Be much more involved with their family and letting them know that their kid is just as much of a priority to me as their kid is to them.
Absolutely. That's something we do. As Cleveland Indians, we're a family. There are different positions as everything else, just like life is. But our position is to help the person next to us. How much can I get myself better to serve, to best serve, to make that person next to me better? And that's something we do. It's never going to be about us. It's always about the person next to us.
Yeah, and I think that, I agree to some extent. Baseball is difficult, but Dennis is one of my, examples. I've been lucky enough to have one of the best coaching staffs as you guys could tell, you guys heard what he's been saying. So I'm really lucky. And, you know, you just have to learn how to process information. A lot of coaches, they have different ways of speaking to you, but they just want the best for you. They want you to get better. And, you know, sometimes you just got to, you know, toughen up.
Well, I'm not worried about your sleep habits because you're getting 10 hours a night, man. I'm happy for that. You look well rested. I'm like jealous too because I didn't get much. I didn't sleep very well last night. I might have got 6 hours. I got to get better at it.
And in order to continue those positive cultures, players need the support from family members too. The way they see the game, the way they go watch, the way they support their players, it makes a really positive impact on the players. If you're going to the game and you're having negative comments about the way they play, and then you're having conversations in a negative way, you can have something positive and turn it absolutely into something negative. And you can have a negative day and turn it into something positive. It depends on the support and the people that you surround yourself with. And families can make a really positive impact on players to help them, want them to go back to practice, want them to go back to the field, want them to go play for the team. And that's what family is. Family is doing it together. So team is doing it together too.
I like that you did the thing with the kids too. You had like a baseball clinic or whatever, and you're teaching you're promoting a culture with the young players that, hey, this is a way to give back, because I'm sure, like all of us, like it's a good thing to have somebody there that's older to show you the ropes and to inspire you a little bit. Like, you like that kind of stuff, George, where you're like, you know, helping the other kids? And
yeah, of course. It's just like knowing that you're not bigger than anybody. You know, you're equal. You're just here to help.
Super important, man. Super important. Well, I love the positivity that you guys have shared here today. I really enjoyed sitting here talking to you guys. Excuse me, talking to you guys. I want to say this. Fans out there, locally in the Warren, Greater Youngstown area, if you've listened to this and you don't feel like you want to go out there and support this team now, especially, check your pulse, man, because you might be dead, okay? Or you might not have a heart, because it makes me, knowing you guys now, I'm a fan anyways, but knowing you guys now makes me want to support even more, because you're really instituting a culture of positivity and progressive change in your organization for the Indians, for the Scrappers, and for young guys. And specifically, George, to you, man, keep working hard. Listen to this guy, because obviously he's got it down, and stay positive and keep those distractions at bay, because you got a bright career ahead of you, not only as a baseball player, but I hope at some point we reconvene later on. I would love to. I want to see where you're at in like 10 years, not even as a baseball player. I mean, as a baseball player too, but as a human being. Like, God bless you, man. I'm like I say this again, it sounds funny, but I'm proud of you. I'm proud to have met you guys, honored to have met and to know you guys a little bit and to get to know you guys. And so for the fans out there, go out to the game, root for these guys, and get to know them a little bit better, because they get some quality individuals there at Eastwood Field playing for the Mahoning Valley Scrappers.
Well, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's an honor for us to spend some time just talking about life, baseball, and hopefully people want to go back and enjoy the game. But not only enjoy the game, be a better person while you're there. Have fun and be a better person while having fun. Thank you so much. Very happy to be here, and thank you for the opportunity also to spend some time with whoever's listening at this moment.
You are very welcome, sir.
Thank you, guys. Hope you guys have a great future. See you guys in LA, you know?
Yeah.
Let's get to work.
We're going to see you Thursday night before we see you anywhere.
Hey.
Yeah, you'll be hearing me yell at the game here on Thursday. So
I hope you're yelling.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll hear me. You'll be out in center field. I might come out there and like wave. Okay? Yeah.
All right.
You'll see me. Hey, thank you for listeners. Zach, thanks for sitting in today. Totally appreciate you co-hosting today. Great bunch of questions, especially from a young baseball coach. Good luck to you in the upcoming season over at Howland High School. Go Tigers. My friends are going to give me some grief because I'm an Eagle, Okay, I'm always an Eagle. I went to Warren John F. Kennedy. He was Warren JFK, so we're Eagles. Howland was always our rival.
We
But
beat them last year.
oh, jeez, you had to get that in, dig it in. But good luck. Good luck to the Tigers here coming up, and to Zach at Byler Elite Strength Training. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to George Valeria and Dennis Malave of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. Appreciate you guys spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Best of luck.
I appreciate it. You are very welcome. And until the next time, listeners, stay electrified and keep on prodding. Make sure to like, listen, and subscribe to the podcast. Check us out at theprodcast.net. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it.